quick update, and then I'm going to go through some identity theft stuff with you. So this week's topic is identity theft protection. Okay, something that's become a much bigger issue every single year. As we modernize and everything goes online and credit cards and stuff like that, is people trying to steal your identity, right? Take out credit cards in your name, take out loans in your name, do all sorts of stuff like that. There's all sorts of scams involved in that. Okay, email phishing, getting you to, what that is, getting you to go to a website and type in your information. It looks like a legitimate website, but it's really not. Or like, there used to be all these old mail gimmicks where they try to get you to send them your social security information. There's all sorts of those spam phone calls. They're all scams trying to get your social security information so that they can steal your identity or sell it on the dark web. So this week, I'm going to give you some information here that you need to use on your assignment. Okay, I'll attach it into two different spots. And then your assignment this week, there's an activity I found through a cool financial website that I'll probably use a lot more next year, to teach you how, if your identity gets stolen, the steps you get to go through to get it back, right, to fight it. And also, there's a bunch of information you're going to get on how to prevent identity theft, some of which I'll give you here, and there's a video you got to watch too, a really good one, that's going to help you protect your identity. So, with all of that, you will do the identity theft stuff in the activity this week. Then, you'll have a few more videos. Okay, we're winding down here. Graduation's coming up, senior cutoff day's coming up, that sort of stuff. So we're getting into the nitty-gritty then end times of Econ for this year. So trying to make sure we hammer all the personal finance stuff for all you guys and girls that are about to be adults. So let's talk about identity theft. I'm going to zoom in here and get out of the way. So identity theft is when someone steals your personal identifying information like your name, social security number, or bank information, and they use that to commit fraud. The average victim spends 300 hours trying to clear their name. That's like working 24/7 for 7.5 weeks on nothing but your identity theft. Which is why prevention is very important. Okay? So, if you don't want to be a victim, here are some very simple things you can do. Okay, to prevent it. Number one, be careful online. Social networking is great, but there's also an easy way to share too much personal information. Listing your birthday, your brother's name, your pet's name, or a picture of your school mascot can give identity thieves useful information. Now, that might sound like a lot. Okay, my birthday is on my Facebook or whatever, and so is my brother's name. I don't think my cat's name is on there, or any of my old school stuff, but the reason that those things, obviously your birth date is one of the major pieces of information you have to give out to get a credit card or apply for a loan or any of those things. But a lot of security questions, like when you sign up for that stuff, it'll say, oh, or like password retrieval stuff, they'll say you have to answer a security question. And a lot of time those security questions are things like, what is your brother's first name? What was your first pet's name? What was your high school mascot? What road did you grow up on? Stuff like that, right? So all that information could be used by hackers or identity thieves to steal your stuff. What I would say is make your Facebook, make your Instagram, make it private. Okay, only have the people you want looking at it. Okay, that helps protect that a lot. Number two, protect your social security number. Obviously, don't carry your social security card with you. You don't need your social security card. You don't need it most of the time. The only time you need it is when big things, right? Applying for a credit card or a bank loan, getting a job. They need your social security number, obviously, for all that stuff. That's the only time you ever need it personally on you. You might need it for some sort of like legal documentation or court procedure or something, so that's the only time you have it. When you don't have it, you need to lock it up, right? It says it right there. It's a good idea to invest in a fireproof, waterproof lockbox to store important documents like financial aid paperwork and anything with account numbers. Do the same thing with your social security card, right? You also shouldn't be telling people your social security number, right? This is on here, this is for kind of geared more towards your age group, unless your parents say it's okay. Unless it's 100% necessary. I mean, I've had times where I've had paperwork handed to me to fill out that asked for it, where it wasn't necessary, where I just crossed it out. And said, I mean, if it's really necessary, I'll tell it to you, but it's not. Right? So be safe with that. Your social security number is the most important personal identifier for you for the rest of your life. You need to protect it. Okay? We talked about locking it up. A lot of folks around here have gun safes. That's a good place to lock up stuff, right? Those things are pretty strong. Most of those are fireproof, so that's not a bad idea. Be suspicious of emails and phone calls. Okay, bank and credit card companies will never ask you to verify information in an email. They'll never say, hey, this is Chase, we just want to verify your social security number here, please type it in. They will never do that. They'll send you an email that says log into your account and type it in. That's legitimate because you have to go through your account, right? Don't follow links through their emails. Open up a new browser tab, right? Go up to the top, open up a brand new one, and then type in your stuff, right? Get to the website. And another thing I'll say that I have read before is that when you get done with your banking stuff, you should close the browser, right? Not just close the window, close everything. I don't know if that's just me being weird and I read it somewhere and it's not super accurate, but always better to be safe than sorry, right? All right, so next one, shred it. Never toss personal information like user IDs, passwords, account numbers, birth date, or social security number stuff in a trash can, okay? This especially includes things like ATM receipts. Look at your ATM receipt, make sure it doesn't say any of your important information on, like your number, right? Like your account number. Sometimes credit unions are a little bit more lax about putting stuff like that on ATM receipts, so make sure that it isn't on there. If you're going to throw it away, I also rip mine up, but maybe that's me just being extra safe. Pay stubs, right, which you get, nowadays they pretty much just get emailed to you. Not a lot of people do paper checks anymore, it's all direct deposit, but you get a pay stub and it has all of your information on it, right? You want to make sure that that does not just end up in the garbage where someone might maybe find it, okay? Credit card offers, rip them up. Junk mail, rip it up. Talk to your family about investing in a cross-cut paper shredder. That's the best way to do it. It doesn't just shred it into like spaghetti strips, it shreds it into confetti. And that's the best way because it's almost impossible to put that stuff back together. Create strong passwords. Obviously, it would be stupid to use your birth date, your name, or your phone number as your password. Choose a password with a mix of characters and numbers. That would be hard to guess. It used to be common sense advice to come up with a stem, right? And what that means is like you come up with a saying, right? Like, I went to the store at 8, right? And then you can use that stem, just the first letter of each one, to be your password, right? So then it's IWTTSA8, right? That seems just like a random combination of things, and you can throw in some characters or whatever, right? But you'll always know, and you can say, well, what's my password? Well, I went to the store, so you know that that's your thing, and you just say it to yourself, and you say at whatever time, right? That's one thing. I was in New York, and they had that on the subway as the thing, because I guess a bunch of New Yorkers were losing their identities. But come up with strong passwords. Have a place to write it down, so you know your passwords. I would be leery about saving them all on your phone, in case your phone gets hacked, or saving them in an email in case your email gets hacked. I would actually write it down and put it in the same safe that you keep all of your other personal information. If you notice an increase in junk mail or pre-approved credit offers, or the mail isn't arriving like it should, you might be a victim of identity theft. It's a good idea to periodically check your credit report, which we talked about last week with credit, and make sure nothing illegal is going on in your name. If you're over 18, visit annualcreditreport.com to order a free credit report from each of the 3 largest consuming reporting agencies. Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. If you're under 18, you need to have your parents help you. But it's worth the effort to make sure that your credit isn't messed up, because this is going to affect every purchase for the rest of your life. If someone steals your personal information or it is compromised, act fast. Follow these steps. Number 1, place a fraud alert on your credit reports. Fraud alerts prevent a thief from opening more accounts in your name. Close the accounts that have been tampered with or opened without your knowledge. File a complaint with the Federal Trade Commission and file a police report. Right here, there's a website called identitytheft.gov you can follow, and there's a thing right here. This is through the state of Oklahoma, but the video I'm attaching to your activity that'll help you finish the activity is from the Federal Trade Commission on how to prevent and fix identity theft. So, like I said, this week, identity theft and some videos. Next week, I will let you know. It'll be another personal finance deal, and we'll finish out the video series. So, good luck. Let me know if you have any questions. Email me, Google Hangout me, that sort of thing, and we'll get it settled. All right, until next time.